Yejide sat by the window, watching the rain as it drummed against the glass of their small, cluttered apartment in Ibadan. The city outside was shrouded in a misty haze, and the monsoon season had begun in earnest. She clutched a small, worn-out photograph of herself and Akin, her husband, taken years ago on their wedding day. The image seemed almost surreal now, a distant memory of a time when their lives were full of promise and dreams. Yejide's heart was heavy with longing. She and Akin had been married for several years, and despite their deep love for each other, they had faced one of the greatest trials of their lives. They had been unable to conceive a child, a situation that was becoming increasingly difficult to bear in a society where having children was often seen as a measure of one's worth and success. The pressure from family and friends was relentless, and the strain was starting to show. Akin had always been supportive, at least outwardly. He would hold her hand and whisper comforting words, promising that everything would be okay. But Yejide couldn't ignore the growing distance between them, the silent, unspoken fears that seemed to hover between them like a thick fog. Akin's demeanor had changed over the months, and though he tried to hide it, Yejide could see the exhaustion in his eyes, the way he avoided talking about their situation. One evening, as the rain poured outside, Yejide found herself lost in thought. She had been visiting various doctors, seeking solutions, but each time she was met with the same diagnosis, there was no medical explanation for their inability to conceive. It was as though something invisible and insurmountable was standing between them and the family they so desperately wanted. The weight of it all was beginning to feel unbearable. Then one day, Akin came home with a new, unsettling energy. He seemed excited, almost too excited, and when Yejide asked him what was wrong, he revealed that he had taken a second wife. The announcement hit Yejide like a thunderclap. It was a common practice in their culture, but it was not something they had ever discussed, nor was it something Yejide had anticipated. She was blindsided, feeling a mixture of shock, betrayal, and profound sadness. The new wife, a young woman named Bose, moved into their home, and Yejide was forced to confront her new reality. Bose was polite but distant, aware of the delicate situation but also eager to start her own family. Yejide tried to remain civil, to put on a brave face, but the emotional toll was immense. Her heart ached as she watched Akin divide his attention between his two wives, and the silence between them grew louder. Amid the turmoil, Yejide sought solace in her work, trying to find a semblance of normalcy in her daily routine. But her thoughts were never far from her home and the growing resentment she felt towards Bose. The strain of living with a constant reminder of her perceived failure was too much to bear, and she found herself withdrawing from Akin, from Bose, and even from her friends and family. As the years passed, the family dynamic became increasingly strained. Yejide's struggle with her emotions was mirrored by the turbulence in her marriage. She felt as though she was living in a constant state of flux, never able to find stability or peace. Her life, once so full of hope, seemed to be slipping through her fingers. One day, a new crisis emerged. Yejide learned that she was pregnant. The news was both a blessing and a curse, a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak situation. Her feelings were complicated. She was overjoyed at the prospect of becoming a mother, yet she was filled with fear and uncertainty about how this new development would affect her already fragile marriage. The arrival of their baby brought new challenges and deeper questions about family, love, and identity. Yejide had to navigate the complexities of motherhood while managing her strained relationship with Akin and Bose. The baby became a symbol of hope, but also a reminder of the sacrifices and struggles that had led them to this point. Despite the trials, Yejide's love for her child was unconditional and fierce. She poured her heart into caring for the baby, finding solace in the small, everyday moments of motherhood. The presence of the child brought a renewed sense of purpose, but the underlying issues within the family remained unresolved. As Yejide looked out at the rain-soaked city, she reflected on the journey she had been through. The challenges, the heartbreak, And the moments of joy had all shaped her in ways she had never imagined. She had learned to adapt, to find strength in adversity, and to confront the complexities of love and family with a resilience she hadn't known she possessed. Her story was one of struggle and endurance, a testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. And as she held her baby close, Yejide knew that while her path had been fraught with difficulties, it had also been marked by moments of profound beauty and growth.